Do you want to know how to take care of your lawn during an oppressive heat wave? Stick around, I may have a couple of ideas on how to help you out. What's going on, folks? Welcome back to the Lawn Shark channel. So today we are going to talk about oppressive heat and some of the ways that we can mitigate issues in our lawn when that happens. Here in Nashville over the next several days, our forecast is to be close to triple digits. We may get lucky in the sense that we're supposed to get lots of rain over the next several days as well, and hopefully that'll help keep all those temperatures down. But you never know. If we don't get those rains, then we are going to have to prepare for some pretty steep temperatures. We've had a very mild spring with temperatures for the most part staying pretty low, but now that we are really starting to get into those hot temperatures, we need to start thinking about what are we going to do, especially back here for this cool season lawn that I have. As far as the Bermuda is concerned, it doesn't care. The Bermuda loves the heat. It wants to be hot. As long as the temperatures aren't crazy and you keep your moisture levels at a reasonable level and you continue to water on a regular basis, then the Bermuda should be fine. But as far as the cool season lawns are concerned, we do need to start thinking about what are some of the things that we can do to mitigate like true browning and dormancy, and we definitely don't want it to dry out, but we also want to make sure that we're not doing things that are going to cause problems as far as disease and fungus pressure on the lawn. So one of the things that we want to talk about today is watering. So when we start thinking about watering, there's a couple things that we want to keep in mind. For starters, you don't want to water your lawn so much that you are going to cause that disease pressure I just mentioned. And one of the worst things that you can do is water your lawn multiple times during the day with the same amount of water that you would do one time a day. So let me explain. When you have a zone in your lawn, and for me, this back zone right here is my zone number 4, typically we're going to put down quite a bit of water back here when that zone goes off. And it's usually about 30 minutes. And the way that my sprinkler system works is that it breaks it up over 5-minute increments so that it has time to absorb and we don't have a bunch of runoff of the water. What we don't want to do is do 30 to 40 minutes of water 3 or 4 times a day, because that's just going to be way too much water for the lawn. What I would prefer to do is break that into much smaller increments. And one of the things that I think work really well is if you just plan on using this simple formula, and that is to do 2 to 3 minutes of water every 2 to 3 hours, and you should be good. Now, when you do that, one of the things I don't want you to do is do that all day and then all night. You should definitely stop your watering sometime before sunset and well in time for the lawn to dry out before the sun completely sets. The other thing we want to do is make sure that we account for rainfall. Like I said, we're going to get quite a bit of rain over the next several days here, so I want to plan that out. So I don't want to set any kind of set schedule, because the reality of it is that I may get a really big rainstorm. We had a huge rainstorm the other night and it caused a bunch of debris in the lawn. And so we're doing some cleanup today and we're taking care of all that. We also want to take a look at the forecast and see what's coming up. And then I just kind of keep an eye on it and make sure that the grass stays nice and wet throughout the day. But then I'm going to stop at around 5 or 6 in the afternoon to give the lawn time to dry out. Now, if it rains during the night, I can't help that, and there's nothing that we can do about that, but we do want to make sure that we keep that in mind so that we're not completely saturating the lawn in the heat of the day, especially when the temperatures are really high, because then you're going to definitely be looking at some disease pressure and you're going to have to deal with that later on, and the last thing you need is more issues to have to deal with in your lawn. The next thing we want to think about is mowing. And the one thing that we want to do is stay away from mowing the lawn when it is super hot. There's a couple reasons for that. Number one, you want to make sure that you're taking care of yourself and you're not mowing the lawn when it's 100 degrees outside. You know, you need to stay hydrated. You need to make sure that you're not putting yourself in a situation where you can be affected by heat. The lawn is going to be very stressed out during these hot temperatures, and you don't want to put the lawn under any more stress than it's already going to be in. So, you know, if you have to wait a few days before you mow your lawn, then no big deal. Wait a couple days and it'll be fine. Now, as far as the Bermuda is concerned up in the front, again, no big deal. The Bermuda doesn't care. It's going to be fine no matter what. But for sure, back here where I have fescue, I'm going to be very, very careful not to mow the lawn during that time and just wait a couple days until it cools off. The other thing too is that my grass, because I'm going to be watering it so much, all of that moisture and then mowing can cause other problems as well, especially with matting of the lawn, and that's going to cause issues as well, and potential issues as far as fungus and disease pressure, so we don't want to do that. I'm just going to stay away from mowing for the next couple of days until the temperatures get back to a normal level. And then the last thing that I want everybody to think about is to stay away from herbicides, pesticides, and fertilizer. In fact, all the labels are going to tell you that you need to stay away from applying any of those things during temperatures that are really, really hot or really, really cold. And that's because you're just causing additional stress to the lawn, and we don't want to do that. So unless you're doing something like a liquid fertilizer or micronutrients, then I would stay completely away from application of any kind of pesticide, herbicide, or fertilizer, because you do have the potential to burn the lawn and you also have the potential to kill your lawn. So unless you're applying tons and tons of water, then I would stay away from that. In fact, this weekend I was supposed to do a nitrogen application to the lawn, and it was going to be granular, and I just made the decision that it can wait another week. Next week the temperature is supposed to be a little bit better. We should be getting regular rainstorms throughout the week, and I think that's going to be the perfect time for me to do my granular application. So going back to the Bermuda lawn up here, the Bermuda doesn't care about the heat. In fact, one of the things that I need to do over the next couple weeks is do a leveling project. And the reason why I'm not doing a leveling project this weekend when I have 4 days off is because it's about me. I don't want to sit out here in the heat. The Bermuda could care less. I can bury it in sand and it can be 100 degrees and it'll be fine and it's going to survive. But unfortunately, I probably won't. So we're going to stay away from that. All right, so that's pretty much it. That's all I have for you guys today. I wanted to give you guys a few tips and tricks that I thought about when it came to preparing for this oppressive heat that we're having this weekend. I hope it helps you out. It's definitely things that I had to think about and plan for, but hopefully next week the temperatures will be a lot better. We'll be in a regular pattern of rain and sprinklers, and we should be in good shape. So if you like this video, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe if I've earned your subscription, and if you want to be notified of future videos, don't forget to hit that bell. Stay safe, stay hydrated, and we'll see you next week.